And in this position, I played bishop c3, thinking I was all clever because this pawn is pinned, and if the pawn takes, I'd be at 2 exchanges, but this move is actually not that good. All right, well, this is it. Could be my retirement party, the video you've been waiting for years. How to win every chess game. Funmaster Mike, why have you been holding out on me all this time? Well, I guess I kind of haven't, because there's not a way to win necessarily every game, but I'm going to give you kind of a way to win, because we got my boy Tani. He's selling those shirts. I don't lose, I learn. That's kind of what I want you to take away. You either win or you learn something that will help you win a future game. Aha! How to win every game. You see what I did there? I'm glad that you're watching still. Okay, now I'm going to give you a real life example from even days not too distant past where I was already above 2,000. And in this position, I was black, and I am actually up in exchange. That's right, 2 rooks against 1. And in this position, I played bishop c3, thinking I was all clever because this pawn is pinned, and if the pawn takes, I'd be at 2 exchanges. But this move is actually not that good, because when white cleverly steps out of the pin, now my bishop is in danger, and although I can win this pawn, I'm going to lose this one. And what I failed to realize is that after I capture, and then white captures, now all of the pawns are on one side of the board, and it's so much easier for the worst side to defend when all the pawns are on one side. That's because the power of my extra rook versus white's extra knight is a lot less when the knight doesn't have to travel anywhere on the right side of the board. And in fact, this position is very close to being a draw for white. So lesson learned, when you have the rook against the minor pieces, you want to keep pawns on both sides. I had to go through this game in order to learn that. Now, I didn't lose the game, I made a draw, but it definitely helped me in a future game, because the next year at the same tournament, I had this position. I was black. Now, I've got a rook for 2 bishops, so I'm not even really technically ahead. But in this position, I was determined to keep this pawn on the chessboard. I wasn't going to trade my A pawn for white's D pawn or anything like that. Instead, I played rook c8, and let me show you the power of the passed pawn. By keeping pawns on both sides, it was a lot harder for white to defend. And in this position, I decided, I was starting back rank mate, by the way, I decided to play the move f6 to trap this bishop as best I could. And we're just going to go a little bit fast here because I want to show you this A pawn running down the board. There she goes. And white has to deal with it. In fact, white was so concerned the bishop would never get out. White gave away some material, but I just ignored the knight and I kept my A pawn moving down the chessboard. The knight moved in. Of course, I have to save my rook, but I captured by deflecting this bishop. If the bishop takes, yep, Mr. A pawn becomes the hero. So things are looking good now. I definitely learned my lesson from the previous game. That's how you win everyone, right? You win or you learn. And I'm going to show you this fun finish to the game. After the move knight to b4, I actually played rook to d4 because now I'm skewering those 2 white pieces. The bishop saved itself. Now, I actually can't take because bishop to d6 check would fork my king and my rook. So I just simply moved my king, and after the knight moved, there was a really cool idea. Now I'm getting forked, but I played the move rook to d8, and my idea is just to bring the rook behind the pawn and then keep motoring it down the board. Except if the pawn was captured, and when it was captured, now rook to h8 check forces the king to move back. I play a little knight check, forcing the king over, and it's almost like a reverse back rank mate. Instead of coming after the white king from the right side, I played knight to d4, and I'm going to come at the king from the left side. I'm threatening both checkmate and the bishop. I went on to, of course, win the bishop because white had to stop the checkmate, and I went on to win the game. So by going through the tough first game, I learned what I needed to know to win that second game. You either win or you learn, but I consider learning winning, so that's how you win every single game. Bing, bang, boom, the video to end all videos.